guys, it's Heidi here, and today I'm going to do a cook with me video and show you guys how I prepare and do pizza night at the Smith family household. You guys have requested this video so many times, so I am going to oblige and show you guys how I put together my pizza dough, and I'm going to show you guys how I put it on the pan and how I dress it and how I bake it, all of those good things. So first thing we got to do is make the pizza dough, because you can't have pizza without pizza dough. So you're looking into my KitchenAid. Now if you don't have a KitchenAid, you can do this by hand. However, it will take you a little bit longer, but I've done it both ways and it can be done. I've got a little bit of warm water in here, and I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the lid off my sugar over here. And you want a total of 1/3 of a cup of sugar. So this is about 1.5 cups of water, and you got 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm just going to sprinkle in about 1 tablespoon of sugar into my warm water. And then I'm going to put in my yeast packet. And this is the yeast that I'm using. Yeah, it shows it on there. That's good. And you want to double check your dates on your yeast, because you know, if it's out of date or anything like that, it will not rise and your pizza dough will not come out at all. So you want to make sure that your water is under 115 degrees, or it will kill the yeast entirely when you are making this. Also, another tip is I added the sugar to the water because sugar actually helps the yeast activate and foam up the way that it is supposed to foam up. Now we're going to give this yeast about 5 minutes, and I'm going to set my timer, and then we'll come back. And we're now ready to start adding our other ingredients. Now, a couple different things I want to say about the yeast. One thing is if it just goes flat in the water and it doesn't seem like it does anything, then your yeast is probably not doing what it needs to do. The other thing is when you put your yeast into your warm water, one thing that will be a total obvious, I guess, notification that this is actually proofing and it's going to work for you, is it's going to take on a smell. Not a bad smell, just a smell of yeast, but you're going to be able to tell a difference in the way that it smells. So just a couple little tips there. If you've never made pizza dough before, that is how I've described it to friends of mine, and I've given them these directions, and they make pizza dough and tell me they love it. So hopefully I'm doing you guys a favor by sharing how I make this. And this is kind of my no-fail way of making pizza dough. Alright, so now you want some all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour, however, let me warn you that bread flour is going to be more dense. At least it's been in my experience. You know, with this recipe anyways. So I just use an all-purpose flour. So you're going to want 3 cups. And I'm just dipping it out of my canister here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my sugar. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I never really measure anything out anymore. I just kind of throw it in there, and it's kind of, I can just tell by looking at it if I need to add more or whatever. Then I do some salt. People, do not leave the salt out. Salt is what gives your pizza dough the taste. Anytime you make bread and it calls for salt, don't leave it out. Always add the salt in. Then I'm going to take my dough hook, and I'm going to get this turning. I'm going to lock it. Okay, now you can see that my dough has come together. Okay, I have a bowl here that I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in. You want to make sure that your bowl and your dough is covered with olive oil. It keeps it from drying out, and you can't really knead or make into a pizza a ball of dough that is too dry. So you don't want it to be too dry. Now some people say that my pizza dough looks too runny. I've had people tell me that. But I promise you that it will rise and it will be delicious. And I find that this particular pizza dough, if it is like too solid, that it's harder to put out on the pan and turn into pizza. So I keep it on, and I like to put some of this oil on my hand when I'm dealing with the dough. I'm just gonna put it straight into. I need a dough scraper, and I don't have one. There we go. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cover this with some saran wrap and a towel. I'm going to place it inside my oven with just the oven light on. No heat on, nothing else in the oven, just this and the oven light, and it'll be plenty warm to allow this to proof and to rise. Okay guys, we are back, and I'm going to turn this light on because it's pretty dark in here. Okay, so I had a regular Teflon pizza pan, and it came from Walmart. It's really cheap. I do not put this in the dishwasher, and I do not use metal utensils on it because it will, and I promise you, it will scratch. And you don't want that, because this, honestly, if you can keep it nice and clean with no scratches, this will be the perfect thing to make pizza on every time. So I love this. I have tried the pizza airbag pans. I know some of you guys have asked me if I like them, and to be honest with you, I really don't prefer them. I actually like just regular Teflon. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of my, actually I'm going to pull both of my doughs out of the oven. And remember, it was just in the oven with the light on. The oven was not on. And I'm going to turn this on 425, preheating my oven. And I'm going to show you guys what the dough looks like. So as you can see, let me see if you can see. I don't even know if you can see. It has doubled in size. It is totally doubled in size. So it is ready to go. Okay guys, so first thing I'm going to do is, with a Teflon covered pizza pan, you don't have to spray it or grease it or anything. Now if you're looking for Antonio to toss this in the air and to put it on the pizza stone, that's not what's going to happen here. I'm good, but I'm not that good. And I don't have very much patience for trying to figure out things. So anyways, I've got my pizza dough here, and all I'm going to do is put it out on my pizza round. And what I like to do is I like to work with it on the pizza round. Now some of you guys have asked me, how do you make the perfect looking pizza? You guys say that my pizza looks perfect. I work with it on the pizza round. And as you can see, now I'm going to tell you a little tip. If you bring your pizza dough out and it doesn't seem like it's compliant, meaning it doesn't want to stretch, it doesn't want to go where it needs to go, give it a few minutes to rest, and it will, I promise you. So I go around the edges, you know, stretching the dough all the way around to fit the pizza pan. Now, if your dough splits open, don't fret. Just fix it with your fingers. It'll be okay, I promise. So I just keep playing with it until I get it around the sides the way that I want it. You can see it kind of shrinks back a little bit, but the more you work with it, the better it works. Now I kind of take my fingers and do like a groove to make the crust all the way around. just like that. And remember, this is going to beef up or rise up in the oven nicely. Now I'm going to put in here a little bit of olive oil and some Italian seasoning. Seems like a lot, but I like it. And I need to get my garlic out of the fridge. I'm going to add my garlic to this. I'm going to put my fingers in this anyways because I can't find my pan. You see, I just don't even measure. I just kind of, you know, mix it all together. Make sure it's good and mixed. It's really not rocket science. It's really easy. Okay, I'm going to bring my dough back over here. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to smear some of this along the edges of my pizza because this gives the crust a really good flavor. And if you don't want to do this step, don't worry about it, don't do it. It will not hurt your pizza one bit if you don't like this step. And I kind of finish the middle off a little bit with it. Get some of that garlic infused into the dough. That's what I like. Okay, put our pizza sauce on. Now, use the pizza sauce that you like. I'm using a mushroom pizza sauce. This pizza is going to take anywhere between, I don't know, 20, maybe 25 minutes. I would check it after 15. My oven does not heat like it ought to, and it kind of drives me crazy because I like to bake, and you know, it's just the way it is sometimes. I need to get me a new oven, but that's gonna have to wait till I win the lottery, and I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Okay, so we're gonna put our mozzarella cheese on. Now, if you like whatever toppings you like, load it up. You don't want cheese, put veggies. I'm just doing this really simple tonight, just a pepperoni pizza. Now, I really like to make this with some smoked mozzarella. It really makes a difference. Some fresh Parmesan would be even good on this, but I'm just using up what I have in my fridge. This is just another bag of mozzarella. It's just a different brand. Alright, now we want to put our pepperoni on here. Now at this point, you know, you can do green peppers, mushrooms, whatever you want to do, but I'm just doing pepperoni tonight. And I prefer to make pizza with a turkey pepperoni because it's less greasy. It's a lot better for you. And my family can't tell the difference. So as long as they can't tell the difference, I'm going to use the turkey pepperoni. Now, if I was going to go to the deli and get pepperoni, I probably would get the ginormous slices of pepperoni and put that on the pizza because it is so good. You can make any kind of pizza you want. I've done vegan pizzas, a barbecue pizza. You can do anything that you want with your pizza. Takes a little bit of time to get your pepperoni on, but once you do, you're ready to pop it into the oven. All right, so I'm going to pop this in the oven at 425 degrees. And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, I'm back. My timer's about to go off. I'm going to bring my pizza out, and as you can see over here, I have 2 cutting boards that I put together, and I really would like a wood cutting board that's the size of this, because it would make life a lot easier to cut the pizza, but I'm using what I have, so I just put 2 cutting boards that I own together. And so it's got another 7 seconds to go, and I'm going to get my mitts on. And my mitts look like they're dirty, but they're really not. They just really used. I wash them every week, but I need to buy me some new ones. Okay, guys, so my pizza is coming out. Here it is. I'm trying really hard not to burn myself. There we go. The pizza is on there now. It's here, it's beautiful. The crust on the bottom is perfect. And my guys will be headed out here because they already have been bothering me because they smelled it in the oven. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me cook for pizza night, guys. And so yeah, so I'm gonna get this cut up and get it served.